Morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are PR Consulting, and today we will show you how to bring Rosewood to the next level. First of all, let's take a look at what Rosewood is today. Our iconic properties, the Mansion of Turtle Creek and the Carlisle, are already iconic in the luxury hotel world. However, satisfied guests do not draw the link between these properties. What this means is that positive experiences at one hotel are not channeled towards customer retention at other hotels. This means that our modus operandi of continually improving our individual properties is not enough. This is a low marginal benefit because our efforts towards improving the property only translates to an improvement in our business in a small part. Therefore, we analyze that a strong Rosewood brand is critical for our continued success. So, therein lies a key challenge. How can we convert brand loyalty across distinct properties into a common Rosewood brand without undercutting the uniqueness which is the key selling factor of each of these individual properties? To answer this key challenge, we need to take a look at what our strengths and weaknesses are today. So we do acknowledge that there are no common links between our individual properties. However, if we try to force our corporate branding across our properties, there will be resistance from our managers and our loyal guests. Our strengths are our sense in place philosophy, which embodies the local culture in each of our property, as well as a flexible and a creative local employee culture due to this sense in place brand image. Our advanced consumer data and collection allows us to understand what the customers want from our properties. So, what we can see from our strengths and weaknesses is that Rosewood branding must value add to each of our individual properties, because that is actually the key resistance against a common Rosewood brand. So, how can we infuse a strong yet complementary set of values into Rosewood? Because these are sort of paradoxical aims. If it is strong, it might actually overwhelm the individual properties and decrease the value of each of the property branding. So if you take a look at what we are at our core, our culture statement is relationship hospitality, which is towards our guests, we treat them like family. Our brand image, which is sense of place, embodies our emphasis on local culture. Bringing these two together, our brand should be focused on connecting global to the local. What this means is that our brand should embody a sense of guarantee that what you get from each Rosewood property is the authentic local experience that you will actually get if you are a part of the local community. So we can see that this is actually a complementary and yet strong branding that we can apply without much resistance from our loyal guests and hotel managers. So how do we actually put this brand in place? What is the best way to go about it? To answer this question, we take a look at our customer journey. We see that during the pre-stay, during stay, and post-stay sections of the customer journey, the consumer has varying attitudes towards a common branding. During the pre-stay section, there is no expectation of you being able to feel a unique sense from the property because you are simply booking online. And repeat customers at this stage want to be able to easily find other Rosewood properties so that they can search for that Rosewood experience once again. During the stay, we should not be undercutting the uniqueness of each of the properties because the guests demand that they get an authentic experience instead of a cookie-cutter one. What we must do, however, is to subtly reinforce the fact that what they are getting here is a Rosewood experience. During the post-stay section, when the customer is more pliable towards spreading word of mouth, we need to be able to incentivize them to spread the fact that they stayed in a Rosewood hotel so that they can give us word of mouth publicity. We therefore see that there are different goals for us during different parts of the customer journey. During the pre- and post-stay sections of the customer journey, our goal should be to aggressively push the image of Rosewood because the customer and the managers are more accepting of this approach, as well as the fact that doing it in this section has much more boons for us. During the stay, what we must aim to do is to minimize the mentioning of Rosewood so that we do not detract from the authentic local experience. So, taking a look at our two key insights. Our first insight is that the pre-stay section of the customer journey should be non-intrusive to customers. We come up with our first recommendation, which is to manage the link between Rosewood Properties and the Rosewood brand during the booking and exploration part of the customer's journey. And our second insight is to add a Rosewood value proposition without encroaching upon the local culture. How we do this is by introducing a Rosewood ambassador, which is a personalized, which is basically a human that connects with you during the stay, so that you feel a human touch in your luxury hotel experience.
Okay, so moving on to our first recommendation, which is to associate Rosewood brand with properties during our guest pre-stay journey. So furthermore, we have actually divided our pre-stay journey into two stages. The first one, as you can see, is research and comparing stage. Second one is the selection stage, which is booking and payment. So in this case, our group hasn't really chosen the second stage, but instead we have chosen to focus on the very first stage, which is before the selection stage. And the two reasons that we are choosing this stage is because first, there will be minimal distraction from the hotel experience, and then second, the Rosewood hotel chain is more readily available for previous guests. So how we're gonna implement our first strategy? First, we'll be focusing on the online channel, which there will be integrated web presence. So for the first part, for our old previous guests, on the main Rose websites, there will be all other individual properties displayed, so that our previous customers can have easy access to all the other properties. And then for our new customers who don't really have the brand awareness yet, there will be advertisement of Rosewood at individual property websites with links leading to its main webpage. And then for the word of mouth, we will be focusing on the social media initiative to encourage sharing of experience with Rosewood Ambassador. For example, the hashtag TY, which is Thank You Rosewood Amps. And this one will be elaborated by our team member later. And then second part, for our travel agent, we'll be focusing on promoting brand through exhibition. And in this case, we have chosen ILTM, which is International Luxury Travel Market. And the reason that we will give you a brief introduction, description about this exhibition first. So it's the ultimate global meeting in the annual luxury travel calendar. And then the reason that we have chosen this exhibition, there are two reasons. The first one is our Rosewood hotel chain is a luxurious chain itself, which fits into this theme. And then secondly, ILTM got its different exhibition in different parts of the world, which is relevant to our hotel as well, because our properties are scattered in different parts of the world as well.
Okay, so now let's move on to the second recommendation, which is the Rosewood Ambassador. Basically, Rosewood Ambassador is a group of people, and what they are doing is that they provide hyper-personalized service for the guests' every needs. And from here, we want to give them a lasting impression, and so for the guests to remember them and to come back next time. And what is special about this recommendation is that it really emphasizes on the human element inside, where there is intimacy and the human affiliation is emphasized by asking the individual ambassador to cater to each individual group's guest needs. And the Rosewood ambassador will basically have two identities, and they will only have two identities. The first one is being in the group of Rosewood ambassador, where they carry our name while they're giving out the services to the customer. And the second identity is just themselves. They will be identified by their names, such as Bob and Clarence, and so as the in the interpersonal communication and touch will really provide some special feelings and some deep impression to the customers. And from here, with the extra mile we go, we hope to let the customers to really understand that we pay a lot of attention on them, and we try to cater to every and even the special needs of themselves. And then they will feel being valued by Rosewood as a brand, but not only by the individual hotels. So as there is a strong tie being established, and we will really relating the local experience with the Rosewood global branding. And this is on the basis that we are not destroying the local unique experience of staying in individual properties, but we add one more layer on that, which we will give them another experience that is common across all the Rosewood brand, but which will add value to their experience as well. And so there we will basically focus on every stage of the customer's journey during their stay in the hotel. The first one is about the arrival. When we know about the time the customer going to arrive, we will arrange the room nicely before they come. And if they are experienced guests, we will give them. From the collection of data we have, we will look at their personal habits and arrange the room for them in the way they like. And we will also welcome them personally in the airport. And during the stay, the Rosewood ambassador will be the direct point of contact with the guests, and if they have any queries, they can ask the ambassador, and the ambassador will to solve them to them. And besides, we will also provide additional advice on attraction visitor. And during the time of departure, we will provide them with a framed picture, and which will leave memorable experience for them. And we will also encourage them to share their experience with us on the social media, so as to spread the effects through the word of mouth.
So moving on to our risk and indications, there are two inherent risks that we have to address. Firstly, while we are targeting the pre-stay and the post-stay stage of the customer journey, managers and guests must still view this as being intrusive on each of the individual hotel's brands. Hence, it is important for us to communicate this to our guests and managers that the Rosewood brand is not intrusive in nature, but is instead complementary and value adds to what each hotel has to offer. If this still fails, we need to take a step back in our approach and only focus on developing the Rosewood website and connecting it to the independent hotels' websites to show the implicit link between each of the individual properties and the Rosewood brand. Secondly, some of the guests and ambassadors might not have much interaction, as the guests might not need any assistance from the ambassadors. Hence, it is up to us to increase the opportunity for interactions between them. So, to do this, our ambassadors can greet customers when they're checking in, as well as sending them off when they're checking out. To further enhance this, we can also increase the coverage of each of our ambassadors by allowing them to be involved in the online booking process, as well as fetching them from the hotels from the airport to the hotels. So moving on to our financials, a key assumption that we made is that there's no expansion in the scale of operations for Rosewood. With this, we can expect a positive impact of 5% on our CAGR, from a negative 2% to a positive 2.7% with the implementation of Rosewood corporate branding. However, with our recommendations, we can expect CAGR to further increase by another 2.1%. This is done by increasing our guest retention rate year on year, due to the fact that we are channeling more funds from our advertising fees into increasing the human touch or connection in our customer service. And this is done with the reallocation of $400,000 from advertising fees into increasing our customer service in the form of Rosewood brands, Rosewood ambassadors, so as to enhance the human touch in our customer service. Through this, we are spending our branding costs, which we were initially planning on spending on infrastructure changes, which are not only costly but also time-consuming, instead on improving the quality and the soft branding of our company, which is in line with our company's values and culture. So the impact of this on our annual growth rate is that our recommendations will result in a greater impact on the rate of loss of customers year on year, by up to 3 times that of what would have otherwise been achieved with the incorporation of corporate branding. And this will, in extension, increase our NPV by up to 12.7 million. Thank you.
Sorry, can you go back to the ambassador, right? I'm having a bit of trouble understanding this. You're asking your current customers to be your ambassadors by or you're asking your staff to, yeah, so just bring it to it right.
Okay, sorry for the ambiguity. And it is mainly that from our the staff we currently have, and if we need more manpower, then we add on more. So it's from the service team that is within the hotel,
Okay.
and like there's a group of people. What we are doing is that we call them Rosewood Ambassador, and that's so we put the name of Rosewood in so as to market our brand to the individual property hotel, to the guests in individual properties.
Okay.
Yes, and what they are going to do is that they are going to provide the basic service, or like basically everything the guests ask for. And yeah, so for example, if you the guests just arrive in our hotel, and then we will directly tell them, hello, I'm the Rosewood Ambassador, and my name is Who, and like then I will be serving you during your period of stay. And if you have any queries, just feel free to contact me. So like it's kind of a replacement of the function of, for example, the concierge, and also other functions that you might need a lot of manpower for, but it is just a station for contact of the customer with the hotel. Yeah, but with this communication, the name of Rosewood will be. Sorry, is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So like with this exposure of the name Rosewood, they will be like they will know that actually this property is belong to our Rosewood branding, so as to establish.
So you're gonna have a parallel concierge service along with it's like a personal butler, basically.
So it is indeed a parallel concierge, but the crux of it is not the concierge services. It's not any of the services that we're providing. What we're providing is actually the same as our current quality standards. What it is at its core is a human connection, a single point of contact, so that the customers know that they are guaranteed to be able to experience whatever they want to experience just by contacting our Rosewood Ambassador. It is our seal of guarantee.
Are we not doing that already?
So currently what we are doing is each of the hotel does provide this guarantee. However, there is no human element towards it, and there is also no common connection across all of our properties.
What do you mean by no human element?
In other words, what the consumer will be actually facing is, for example, if they request for something, they will simply be calling the concierge, or they will simply be calling the front desk. They will not be calling Mr. Thomas or
So but the butler can't be working 24/7, right? So if the guest want anything at any time of the day, how can you ensure that it is that same guy that is doing everything for the guest?
Sorry, more so than that, I find it hard to believe that like high-end hotels like the Carlyle don't provide a personalized touch. You get what I mean? Like it's a high-end hotel, but pretty Carlyle. I'm sure they do all this. Right? Yes, you might not have your Rosewood branding over it, but the hotel staff are definitely doing this. So what you're saying is basically we're going to introduce a new group of people, incur don't know how much additional cost for this, and I don't see much incremental benefit that this brings up.
We are not introducing a new group of people. What we are doing is, okay, so first of all, I need to answer the question about how are we going to provide this 24 hours personal touch. So obviously we cannot force the concierge himself to work 24/7. What is actually going to happen in a sense is that although the concierge may not be there, it will operate in the sense of, like, for example, the concierge's office. So they will also contact the office to say, for example, I'm looking for Thomas, and if Thomas is not in, we still have a team of dedicated service staff. So they will be able to understand that this consumer is looking for Thomas, and they will apologize to say, okay, Thomas is not in right now, but I'm in his team. Could I help you with anything? So we continually we manage the expectation of the human point of contact using this shift-based system. And if we actually think about it, we're not incurring much more cost. We do factor in a contingency so as to meet possible increased demand, but we don't expect this to be so. Just because we introduce ourselves during the introduction period doesn't mean that a guest will demand for more services. So this is simply
Shall we go to slide 3? Slide 3. Yeah. So I just want to stay on this slide for a while more. You mentioned that creating a strong Rosewood brand is essential for success.
two questions. The first question, what is success in your view for us? Yeah. And the second question is, you highlighted 3 pointers as to why we need to do a strong Rosewood brand, but I don't see any of them valid because me as a company with individual hotel brands, all under the Rosewood company umbrella, I'm still doing amazingly well. So why do I need to do that?
So the key factor here is that yes, we are successful. However, how do we move on to the next step?
So can we go to the first question on the successes?
We define success as an increased repeat customer rate as well as an increased cross-property customer engagement. So in order to achieve this metric of success, what we are doing is currently not enough. We see that our current cross-property customer engagement rate is only 5%, which is on the very lowest end of companies similar to us. So how can we move on the extra step? That is what we're trying to answer in our case.
Sorry. Cross-property, say that about cross-property. It's the lowest among our competitors, right?
Yes.
What are you comparing?
So we're comparing to similar collection-style hotel companies. So those who have iconic properties that are on par or as us, like the Four Seasons Hotel.
Where are they located? Or relative to the other properties where they're located? So ours is all over the place, right?
Mm.
So where are the Four Seasons hotels? Our cross-sell is a function of where our hotels are, right? It's just all over the place. That's why cross-sell is very local.
If you take definitely for Four Seasons they are concentrated in one, and perhaps their cross-sell may be higher. But that is not necessarily the only factor. Companies like Aman, they have properties all over the place. However, they are still a die-hard group of fans who hunt the Aman experience.
Okay, I agree with that. Then how does your recommendation make my guests more die-hard or more willing to, I don't know, go to multiple properties?
What we actually analyze is that the guests, they are looking for the Rosewood experience already. They are very impressed by what they get from staying at any of our properties. However, these impressed guests, when they are looking for another Rosewood experience, they don't understand that what they got was a Rosewood experience. They just think that was a good experience. I want another one of this. Therefore, there's attrition in this group of potential loyalists that we are losing to other competitors because they are unable to draw the link between our different properties. And by introducing our Rosewood ambassador as well as increasing the brand pervasiveness in the pre-stay period, we are able to sort of subtly remind the consumer that yes, what you're getting was a unique experience. That was good. How do you get it again? You get it by searching for Rosewood.
So, question, just to ask all of you, what do you see a hotel as for a leisure traveler? Is it a destination or is it just a function of an accommodation for people to live in when they are traveling somewhere else?
Personally, when I travel, like the accommodation is actually an essential part of my stay because I guess when I travel to a foreign country, I'm looking forward to a very unique and very local, authentic kind of feel. So for me, the stay cannot be just what I get is only 2 beds, I got a shower, and that's all. What I'm looking forward to is I go inside, I can really feel, for example, it's New York, then I feel the New York side part of it. Like the style should be different for different country that I go to.
Sure.
So for Rosewood, right, it's exactly personally, that's what exactly I'm looking forward to. So actually adding on to what Stephen just now said, if for example this time I'm traveling to New York and I have a very New York sense of feel and I love it, then for example next time I'm traveling to London, then thinking back to my previous trip, which is New York, I say, that hotel is not bad, but I want to get the same kind of experience in London. So what kind of hotel I'm looking forward to, because I have no experience in London at all. So if I know it's under Rosewood, I will search for, well, does Rosewood, this hotel chain, has another hotel in London, so it will guarantee me another local experience. That's why I will search for Rosewood, and that's how our recommendation is to.
So that means that when you travel, the first thing on your mind is where should I go?
In the stay, is it?
No, where should I go? Is it today I'm going to go travel to North Korea? Today I'm travel to Africa?
Okay.
The destination is first, right?
Okay, yes.
So the challenge I have is if the destination comes as the first filter of a customer when they choose a hotel, are we able to provide hotels at all the places that they usually go? If you look at the locations of our hotels, they are all out of the place. Meaning, even if it's in Dubai, even if it's in Turtle Creek, it's all not centrally located. So your hotel is a destination. And how do you ensure that you create this kind of destination feeling across hotels that are out of the place, and also in hotels that are like the Carlyle, which is in central New York?
I think generally what we're trying to do is when people look for a location to stay, after they've chosen a location, if our hotel is within that location itself, they will want to choose our hotel. And how we are doing this is that we're focusing on incorporating local culture as well as this kind of universal culture.
I clearly understand that. I think I clearly understand that. The challenge is then you have to acknowledge that you will not have an increase in terms of the cross-stay rates because of the fact that your hotels are all in town. So why do we need to do a global brand where the chances of having a person going to your hotel is low by virtue of your hotel being in real places?
So, as mentioned previously, yes, definitely our hotels are in real places. Our consumers, they will not choose to. There will be a very minute group of consumers who are die-hard Rosewood fans. It may not be too prudent to focus on this key group. What we are doing instead is to focus on attrition, which is what previously mentioned. The fact that when they want the Rosewood experience, they might even go to competitor hotels. This is a much bigger group of consumer that we're targeting with our Rosewood, with our current recommendation package.
So your 2.1% increase in CAGR, what is it from?
That is from simply a boost in cross-property visits by customers. But what our recommendation focuses on.
So then your recommendation, your financials, and what you're just saying all the things.
That's not necessarily the case. So we're linking these 3 points together.
Yeah.
Cross stays, attrition rates towards other competitor companies,
Yeah.
as well as
rates meaning that these people have stayed at your hotel once before.
correct.
Okay.
So they've stayed at the hotel once, they have a positive experience, and they want it again. But they did not know that it's from a Rosewood brand. So when they go to another place, they think that was the one and only experience that I could have gotten from that company at the Carlyle, for example. So the third point is our recommendations. How does our recommendations take this attrition and increase and convert them into retention so as to achieve our increased cross-property retention rate? So I believe that we've already talked a lot about our recommendations. The crux of it actually is to really softly reinforce the fact that what you can get from one property, you can get at another as well, throughout our Rosewood umbrella of resorts all over the world. And this is done not in an aggressive branding way, for example, by saying the Carlyle by Rosewood, because doing this will actually decrease morale, decrease the value that each of the consumers get from all of our properties. We instead adopt a soft approach by doing aggressive branding at periods where the customers don't expect uniqueness, and doing little subtle emphasis that you can get this experience at Rosewood during the stay. Therefore, that's how it all links together.
Okay, sorry, may I add on to that? Well, basically our competitor is all the other very well-known branded hotels such as like Four Seasons and also some individual properties. But from our research, we really find that because like other individual properties such as Emerald Hotel, and like because they also want to bring the idea of branding across its properties, and it introduced some kind of common features into its services. For example, the common healthy food and all that. But what makes us different from them is that we are really another level higher than them in terms of differentiation and catering to the locals, incorporating the local culture into our services and the hotels design and all that. And I believe that since the people we are targeting is the high class people, and if the location is a bit remote from what they want to visit, it's not a problem for them. And also with the Rosewood Ambassador, we will also provide the driving services and all that for them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.